All right, what's going on, Tycoons? Super excited for today's video. We are going to be looking at V, ticker symbol V. That's Visa. All right. And Visa is definitely on my watch list. Okay, I've been very patient, waiting for these gaps to fill down below on Visa. And I mean, look at where it perfectly found support right at the bottom of the gap. Okay, so if you guys don't know, one of my favorite things to do is trade the gaps. Okay, trade the gaps, set alerts at the gap fills, okay, near the gap fills so that I know, a gap is about to fill. All right. And gaps on the daily chart, which is the chart that we're looking at, we're looking where each candlestick represents a day. Okay. Those are all, statistically about 90 to 95% of the time, those gaps fill. It's just a matter of when. Okay. So if you look here, those gaps are very old. Okay. All the way back from January 27th. And the other gap is even further back than that. Okay. I just don't have the chart pulled back that far enough, but trust me, it's there. I've been waiting for it to fill. And Visa has done a beautiful job of recovering. Okay. I want you guys to look at the RSI right now. The RSI is pretty balanced. It's at 55. All right. And basically what I'm saying is it still has room to grow. Okay. We have plenty of room to go up. All right. And the stock has been bullish ever since filling the bottom gap. Okay. We came down here, filled this original gap, tried to find some support over the next 3 days. And then, we fell further, tried to recover, faced resistance here at 204.81, came back down and filled this gap, and we've recovered nicely. Okay. So if you look here, it is up 12% in the past week. And for, a stock like Visa, that's very good. Okay. This isn't a highly volatile stock that is going to be moving 10-20% a day. Okay. Now it may do that on some rare occasions, when there's a catalyst or something behind it, but I would definitely watch out for that. Okay. So I want you guys to look, these gaps filled, this gap up filled. All right. So what I want to actually do is draw this little tiny minuscule gap right here and show you guys. Okay. So we've already filled these two gaps down. In the process of running up, we created a small gap down right at our support level of 204.81. So look for Visa to pull back sometime over the next week or two, possibly even month if it stays bullish. I wouldn't be surprised if we, have a run up and then it breathes and comes back down to bounce off of the support level of 204.81. Currently we blew right past the resistance level at 209.5. All right. Well, we found resistance there yesterday. We opened up a little bit below it today at 208. And then we are currently at 211.93. So we're almost at 212. Blew right past that resistance level. Our next resistance level is going to be 214.79. So look for a little bit of resistance there and possibly a drop there. Okay. The reason I want you guys paying attention, all right, is because of the gap fills. We have this nice big juicy gap up to 225 all the way up to about 231. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of debit spreads that you guys can enter in on, okay, and what the max profit of them is currently on Visa. All right. Now, keep in mind, Visa is up today. So, a lot of these options are going to be a little bit pricier than normal. All right. So definitely keep that in mind. And so I would maybe wait for Visa to pull back, okay, on a red day, maybe before entering into these debit spreads. All right. But if you go to June 17th, 2022 expiration, and you buy the 230 calls, okay, so you go here, you hit buy and then vertical. All right. We'll change this to one because we're going to look at buying one of these for this example. And you buy the 230 and then you come down here and sell the 250. Okay. If this is a little too fast for you, click the top right hand corner. I have a debit spread tutorial video. Okay, watch that. Really helpful. All right, and so this will give us our max profit is going to be $1,517. All right, so that's the most you can make if Visa is above $250 by June 17th at the time of your expiration, and the cost of this trade is going to be $484.30. So roughly, let's just call it $500, and then a max profit of 1,500. That's a 300% max profit on the play, or maybe like 200%. Okay, basically you can, if you put in 500, you know, you can turn that into 1,500. All right, which sounds very juicy to me. And then also what I want to show you guys is the break even. Okay, so 234.85. Let's go ahead and draw a support level there, 234.85. All right, so what I'm doing is I just drew a support level, and then I'm going to the value, and I'm just going to change it to the break even, okay, of that debit spread. All right, and oh, look at that right there. It's right on top of our inverse head and shoulders. So I'll just go ahead and segue into that. What I have drawn up here is half of a pattern. Okay, so one thing I like to do to try to stay ahead of the curve, okay, is to notice some patterns that the chart is giving me. All right, you know, but they aren't. This doesn't mean that this pattern is happening right now. Okay, but what you notice is we have a little bit of a left shoulder here. Okay, so we started up here, we came down, we found some support, we came back up, and then we dropped even harder. So we have a left shoulder currently, and we have a head on our head and shoulders, and we're in this V-shaped recovery process right now, where if we continue the V-shaped recovery and up to our resistance level at 220, all right, and we find resistance at 220, fall back down to our gap fill at 204.81, right at our one of our main support levels, and then we recover again from there to 204.81, you know, and head back up, then that would complete the head and shoulders the inverse head and shoulders pattern. And you know, based off the analysis that we're doing, how you know it came back down, filled this gap, bounced up well, all right, is heading towards this gap fill up here, having a nice bullish run. But after nice bullish runs, things always tend to breathe. So, you know, we could see it run up more, come back down and breathe, and then fill that. Okay. So, anyways, that's one of the debit spreads that I wanted to show you guys. And that expiration is for about 6 or 7 months from now. Okay. So that play has, you know, plenty of time on it. All right. And your break even is going to be 234.85. All right. Now, 234.85 in relation to all-time highs is about 8% from all-time highs. Okay. And currently, Visa is about 19% from all-time highs. Okay. So, you know, this isn't really too, you know, I wouldn't say that this is too unreasonable for a break even of 234.85, especially with 6 months. I'm predicting a big sector rotation coming into the financial sector. So look out for that video. Okay, that video will be dropping later this week, probably Friday. All right, so that's one of the debit spreads. Okay, and that's for June. All right, we're gonna go to one for March, about 3 months from now. Okay, 99 days to expiration. And we're going to look at the, let's do this gap fill right here. Okay. So let's do 225 to 230. All right. So we're going to do a debit spread where we buy the 225 calls and sell the 230 calls. All right. With an expiration 99 days from now. All right. And if you look, that would cost us 149.30 with a max profit of 352. So let's just go ahead and call that $150 and a max profit of $350. Okay, so you can get over 100% profits on this play. And all you need Visa to do is go up to our break even is going to be 226.48. So let's go ahead and chart that up real quick. 228.46. We'll go here and edit values. 228.46. All right. And now that's going to be our break even. Okay. For this debit spread, for a debit spread with 220, buying the 225 calls, selling the 230 calls with an expiration of March 18th, 2022. And, you know, like I said, you know, we're recovering very well. We're heading towards that gap fill. All right. It really seems like it wants that gap fill, but we have some major resistance levels to get past. Okay. We have to get past 215 basically, and then 220. All right. And if we can break past those resistance levels, I see us filling the gap. Okay. And now, as I mentioned, these are the break even prices for those two debit spreads, but that's break even by expiration. Okay. So I'm not showing you guys these trades to tell you to hold them until expiration. What I'm telling you to do is trade these debit spreads. Okay. Know what your max profit is and know the cost of your trade. And do not aim to get the max profit on the trade. Out of the max profit, what is a reasonable profit goal that you deem, possible, and realistically you expect to hit that? Okay, I just showed you 2 different debit spreads with over 100% max profit. All right, if you're beginning trading and you're not consistent yet, why don't you practice getting 20% profits on both of those debit spreads? Okay, try to maintain and learn about the key support levels, okay, that I've given you guys right around 205, 209, and 215. All right, be wary of the gap down to fill at around 205, 204. Know that we have the gap up to fill from 225 to 230. All right. And, if you see that we're bouncing at a major support level, go ahead and buy one of these debit spreads and see if you can get yourself 20% on that debit spread and sell that debit spread for 20% profit. All right. Visa is relatively liquid. All right. If you look, the open interest on these contracts is in the thousands. We have 4,000 and 7,000 on the 2 strikes that we chose. And the daily volume is 283 and 93. So what that means is I would not go in here and buy 280 of these debit spreads. Okay, if you have the capital to do that, that may, with that amount of volume, all right, you may affect the option price. Okay, so grab a few of these, grab 1, grab 2, practice what I said about getting 20% profit or 30% profit, 40, 50%, whatever your profit goal is out of the max profit. Okay, don't aim to be a perfect trader, because a perfect trader is going to get max profit on every single trade. All right, perfect traders don't exist. All right, what people idolize is actually consistent traders, people that actually go in and do what they say they're going to do and then make the money and then go about their day and do it again and repeat the process over and over. All right, those are the traders people idolize. It's not these perfect traders, or these weird scenarios that articles and people will put out. Well, if you bought 1 Bitcoin in 2009, you'd be rich right now. Or 20 years ago, if you invested in Amazon right now with $2,000, you'd have $2 million. Right? This isn't one of those. All right, this is, hey, I can become profitable consistently today, and I'm going to start doing that today. All right, so if you found this content valuable, all right, or if you learned anything or you appreciate these videos, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I've been pumping these videos out for about 2.5 months now. The channel's getting some love. I'm getting good feedback. Feedback's encouraged. All right, let me know what I'm doing wrong, and let me know things that I'm doing right that you guys want to see more. Okay, yeah, so I'm out. If you want to join the Discord, link to join is down below in the description, as well as you can use code Zachly, like the channel name ZachlyTrades, and get a discount on the membership. Okay.